So, what does it really mean to win? I'm not talking about a single game, but, winning at life. We're about to dive into a way of thinking that completely flips the script on what success is. It's not about never falling down. It's all about mastering the art of getting back up. Okay, so the starting point for this whole philosophy is just getting real. This quote says it all right. Life is tough. It's inherently difficult. But, and this is key, admitting that isn't being negative. It's actually the very first step you have to take to build any kind of real, genuine strength.
So first up, we have to confront the main challenge we're all up against. This is an unforgiving world. The idea here is that life doesn't pull its punches. It doesn't really care how tough you think you are. The problem isn't just that you're going to get hit, it's that the hits will keep coming, and the world will hold you down permanently if you let it.
Now this is where things get really interesting, because this idea challenges something we all kind of believe. We think success is about how hard you can hit back, right? How much force you can throw at the world. But that's not the game we're actually playing. And this right here is why. This quote just nails it. The big takeaway is that nobody gets a free pass. No one is immune to hardship. Life's ability to hit you is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter who you are, life will always be the heavyweight champion in the ring. So trying to outpunch it, that's a losing battle from the start. Okay, so if it's not about how hard you can hit, then what in the world is the formula for winning? This is where we make a huge shift, from just looking at the problem to actually understanding the solution. Let's break down how this philosophy defines what a real victory looks like.
And boom, there it is. Winning isn't about being on the offense. It's about endurance. It's not about how much force you can dish out, but how much you can absorb and still somehow keep your momentum. I mean, that's a huge shift in how we think about things. Success is just measured in forward motion, no matter what's coming at you.
This slide makes a distinction that is absolutely critical. Over here on the left, you've got pain. It feels all-consuming, but it's temporary. It might last a minute, it might last a year, but eventually, it fades. But quitting, that's a whole different animal. Quitting takes that temporary feeling and makes it permanent. It lasts forever. That choice echoes for the rest of your life.
So, if winning is all about moving forward, how does that actually work in the real world? Well, as we're about to see, it's not about these giant heroic leaps. It's about the small, the grinding, the stuff that most people overlook.
The gap between winning and losing, it's razor thin. It's almost nothing. It's not some massive canyon you have to jump over. No, it's a game of fractions, of tiny, tiny margins. Being just a little bit off, a half second too slow, that can be the entire difference between making it and totally missing your shot. And here's the crazy part. Those little advantages, those inches we need, they aren't some rare treasure you have to go find. They're literally everywhere, all the time. They're hidden in every single moment, just waiting for someone to notice them and to fight for them. And this is how you actually do it. This is the resilience formula in action. It's not some magical overnight turnaround. It's a climb. It's a slow, methodical, relentless effort to claim 1 inch, then the next inch, and then the next, until you've clawed your way back into the light. All right, so the fight is about to move from the outside world to the inside. We've talked about external challenges, but this philosophy is crystal clear. The most important war you'll ever fight is the one right between your ears. Your own belief system is what defines the limits of what's possible for you. And really, it all comes down to this one question. You have to answer this for yourself, because without a clear answer, you've got no compass, nothing to fight for. This is the why that fuels everything else.
Look, once you know what you want, you have to defend it like your life depends on it, because the world is going to try and project its own limitations onto you. People who've given up on their own dreams, they're usually the first ones in line to tell you that yours is impossible. So protecting that dream becomes an active daily fight.
Now this is a fascinating idea. It suggests that our biggest roadblock isn't our weakness. It's not our failures. It's that we're secretly terrified of our own potential, of our own power. It's a wild thought, right? That we're actually more comfortable with our limits than we are with the huge responsibility that comes with being truly powerful. And that brings us to the final stage, the one where everything changes. If you've won that battle in your mind, the next step is to act. And it requires a conscious decision to evolve, to actually let go of who you are right now to make space for the person you're trying to become. And becoming that person? It's not an accident. It's a process, a game plan. Step 1, make the choice. Make it clear, make it absolute. Step 2, sacrifice. Step 3, the work.
The hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft until potential becomes real skill. And finally, step 4, get your reward. You're going through all this pain anyway, right? You might as well get something out of it. This is it. This is the ultimate call to action. Knowing your self-worth isn't some passive feeling. It demands that you go out and get what you deserve. But, and it's a big but, you have to be willing to take the hits that come with it. It's about taking full responsibility, no pointing fingers, and accepting that taking those hits is just part of the price of admission.
And here's the final, beautiful takeaway from all of this. This power to endure, to become something more, it's not saved for a special few. The core message is that this power is inside every single one of us. The power to create, to find joy, and to turn this whole struggle into an incredible adventure. That's your birthright.
So, with all that said, the choice, the responsibility, it all comes back to you. It's not a philosophical question anymore. It's a question of action. You have the knowledge. You have the power inside you. The only thing left to decide is what you're going to do about it.
And let's just end on this one last thought. Something to really chew on. All those barriers that seem so real, so solid, those fears that feel like they have a death grip on you. What if they're not real at all? What if they're just illusions, waiting for you to call their bluff, to push through them, and to realize they were never really there in the first place?